head and what happened, like where were you? Because I've never seen you anywhere, not even in any rankings. So just because you're, bullshitting on your website that you have the high obedience score in anything, it's like, okay, that like it's kind of like I was just a week ago or a few days ago when we went to watch a baseball game, and it kind of reminded me of all the baseball statistics. There is always, you can always find something in baseball that it's a record and that you are part of it, but and training thousands of dogs, or being in a business so many times, or having a podcast, or talking to whatever, or being in the right circle. It's all marketing and publicity, but your actual knowledge, how do you, I'm kind of asking you, how do you decide who is a good trainer based on what? On conversations and intelligence of having a good conversation, on past credentials, and what credential actually is considered credential, and what accomplishment actually is considered accomplishment. I think this is a most likely the weakest point in the whole dog training industry. People listen to the wrong people all the time. And I'm not saying listen to me, people, don't get me wrong. But how do you decide? Pick a name and tell me, or, since you put me on the spot, pick a name and tell me why you think that person is a great trainer. What is and let's break it down.
First, well, so many of my people that I've worked with, Bart, I saw the video with Thor, right? And so I went and I met him, I watched him present at the IACP, I watched him put...
So what did you like on the video of Thor?
I like the focus. I like the instant execution of commands. I like the calm demeanor of his.
The demeanor was by no means a calm.
On Bart's.
Oh, okay.
On Bart's, like the demeanor of him, of standing.
Okay.
Very subtle movements.
Yeah.
And the dog executing right away. Okay. But then there's Omar, right? And being able to, I remember in the podcast when we did the podcast with you, me, and Omar, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you were like, "Why are you here? What questions do you have for Omar?" And I said, "I don't have any questions for him because I could just ask him a question over the internet. I want to watch him. I want to know him. I want to touch him. I want to take his hand. I want to exchange, I call it psychic energy, like knowing and meeting somebody and spending time with them and watching them interact with their dogs and how their dogs interact with them. And same thing with you, with Larry, with Jay Jack, with...
Man, you really put me on a very hard place here.
Oh, shit.
Like, you really put me in a very hard place. And again, I have to keep repeating, like, in Bart, I consider him, he's definitely a really, really good trainer. And he has passion, and I'm sure he sleeps and eats and... eats and thinks dogs just as much as I do.
He does.
The video of Thor. Is it good training? Is it not good training? I probably have of course I have my opinion. I can break it down in many, many details. However, how do you know what is good training? We need to have we need to line up 20 people that do that orchestrated. We need to take the collars off, we need to take the sticks off, and we need to see, we have to have some way of comparing something that it's the same task,
Yes.
right? And we need to strip it of all the help and see who does it better.
Well, and
Other than that, it's very difficult to say, well, this is brilliant.
and the other aspect of this, Ivan, is that I am not a sport dog trainer, right? And so I'm a pet dog trainer, right? And I'm family dog, right? We're and maybe there was something that I saw within Bart with Thor, but I'll tell you somebody right now that you've worked with that I think is a good trainer. I think he's an excellent trainer. Do you know who I'm talking about?
There are many excellent trainers, man.
Well, somebody that is, I mean, pretty controversial right now.
Imee.
Oh, Dylan Jones.
Yeah.
Imee, dito.
Bill, I think he's great. I think he's a great trainer. And I think also showing the before and then the whole process of the training as well. And there's this young guy, Austin, who I did a live stream with him as well, and I've talked to Dylan.
Again, it's very, it is very, again, I agree with you. Again, Bart is a great trainer, so is Dylan, and so are many others. However, there is no way of us comparing who is better
Yes.
because of, even if I'm rehabilitating an aggressive dog, and even if it has similar problem to what somebody else does, there are many factors, and we cannot strip it to where we can really say these are level, equal grounds. Who is better?
Kanan. Down.
There's so many variables to consider.
Right.
And not only the variables to consider of the training, but then we have the variables to consider of that particular individual. And then we have the variables to consider of the dogs that they work with on an individual level.
Nice.
Right? To get a dog that's motivated, that's eager, that's energetic, versus a dog that is unmotivated, lazy, and just wants to be a couch potato. And how do we approach those situations? And this is why I think that it's important, as if you are a good dog trainer, there is no finish line to the learning that you do. And that's one of the things, like I've watched you
Imee.
go down a rabbit hole with a thought that you had. What was that? Do you remember that
Ito.
that online, I think it was Michael Shikashio's online aggressive dog seminar.
Yung laruan.
I don't know if he was the one that was putting it on, but when I was there, and that's I mean that's what I loved about you, is that we're learning and we're watching everybody, and we're taking the pearls of wisdom that they might have, or it might be covered in a bunch of nonsense, but we're willing and able to listen and learn from people that we might primarily disagree with. And I think that is the goal here too, is that once you think that you have all of this just figured out, that you're dead in the water. That it is a constant evolution, not just as an individual, but as an industry as well.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, no question about it.